everyone, I'm Minecraft with Dummies, and today I'm going to be bringing you something that many of you have been asking for, and that is a tutorial of my slot machine. So if you haven't seen it, it is just a slot machine that the items come out, you get to see them, and then if you win, you'll get your prizes over here. And it's pretty much customizable in every way you could want it, and at the same time it's pretty damn compact. And so that's why there's going to be a tutorial on it now. There'll be a link on the screen now also if you want to see the video where I explain pretty much all the mechanics and give lots of demonstrations and things like that. Now this is quite a big build, so you're going to need lots of items, and here they all are. And this is basically just the main resources, so there's obviously a few more things like blocks and stuff like that, but this is the main things you'll be concerned about. And this is an approximate, because for some of the things like redstone I'm not 100% sure what it is, but it's approximately this much. I tried counting. And down here, this is basically just the prizes, so you're going to want to have your prizes, and then the items that are actually going to come down, so like when I press the button, the things that you can actually visibly see that are being spun effectively. And then also your chips, because you can actually customize what goes in and what's the currency. So to start things off, we're going to have the you're going to want to build like I've got over here. So this is just the front bit, so you can't actually get to anything, of course. And yeah, just this will be floor level. So you're going to want to make the platforms that the items will land on. So they are going to be on slabs, and I'm just going to put this down, and then they're going to be one here, one on this one, and one here, and then fill up the remaining gaps with glass. So you just put that here, here, and here, and here. So now that you've got that sorted, you're going to want the droppers, which are just going to dispense the items that are being shot out. So you're just going to have them facing downwards over each of the 3 slots, and then you're just going to knock out these. So now you can clearly see that the items will just sit over here like they do, as you can see over there. And basically they're going to be pulled out because hoppers can pull through spaces of less than 1, so if it's sitting on the half slab, of course it will get through. So now we're going to stick the paying system in, and I'm just going to put that here, and basically you're going to get a hopper, put one facing that way, and then another one just facing like this. And now you can get a chest on the front of this and stick it over here, and this is where you're going to collect your items once they've been, obviously people have been playing, and you're going to want a slab there just so you can access the inventory and the items will go in. So this is basically just going to be a very simple little item filter, so it only takes in the items that you want. So this way you can rename the items to whatever you want, so you could rename it Casino Chips if you wanted, and then it would only accept things that are named that. Now you're going to put a repeater there like that, leave it as it is, and then the torch on the end there, and 2 pieces of redstone like this. Now in this hopper you're going to put one of the item that you're actually going to be sorting, so the chip effectively, put that in the first slot, and then you're going to want to place 21 of another item, so an obscure one that people aren't just going to guess, or you can just use a bunch more chips, so you're going to want to have 22 items in here in total, with the first slot with the chip that you're going to use. And make sure each slot has at least 1 in, otherwise it won't work. See, now if we put a chip in, it will just accept it, and this will end up down here. And then if I put another one, next time it will go into the chest. However, if I put in any other item, it just won't accept it. Now when you put an item in, this will actually increase the signal strength to here for a tiny amount of time. So basically, when you put an item in and it's the correct one, it will actually give off a pulse, which means we can do this. So now when we put in the correct item, it will give this pulse, and this is basically going to be the pulse that will start the game off. So we're just going to carry this wire all the way up here, and this is just going to end up powering all the dispensers at once. So just put a block in between here, and now you can just drag redstone all along here, all the way down to here. So now when we get an item, these dispensers will fire. So if I put one in, you can hear all the dispensers fired at once. So now to unlock the hoppers after a short amount of time, you're going to take a block here, put it here, and then you're going to go down like this, and then you're going to put redstone over here, and this is all going to be covered up later. Now you're going to go down here and put a repeater in here, and you're going to set this to 4 ticks. So now this repeater is taking power out of this redstone once it's got a signal from all the way over there, and this is going to be going into a block with a redstone torch on it. This is going to be going and powering down 2 over here, so redstone here. Now this is going to go into a redstone repeater over here, and you're going to put that on 4 ticks, and then you're going to take this and place blocks here, and this is going to be the same to all of them, because you want all the hoppers taking items out at the same time. So blocks like this, and then 2 here going to the other one. So now you're just going to put redstone all the way along here, and then repeaters with 4 ticks on each of the gaps remaining. So this will just mean the items that are come out of the dispenser will just sit on here until you actually turn all these repeaters off, which will happen after a bunch of ticks. So you get a chance to see if you've won. So now to build the item sorting system that will detect if you're going to win, you're going to go bring a block down here, 1 along here, and then bring this 6 out. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Knock all the remaining ones out. And then you're going to want to have a hopper just here, and then the rest of them going into this guy, so all the way along until the end, going in so it's underneath all of these hoppers, and they will all receive it. So now what you should have is you should have a 2 gap over behind here, and then these ones will be the wind detection. So now we're going to use the item sorter that you may have seen I've got a video for, and this basically is just going to detect, sort all the items out into basically their categories. So for example, if one of the things coming down that you'll be able to see is diamonds, then all the diamonds will be sorted into one of these lines. So it's very important that these hoppers are facing in the direction that are shown, so it's not facing down, it's facing along. Now underneath these hoppers you're going to face a block doing the same thing, but you're going to face it in the other direction this time. You can have these ones above facing in this direction, but these are the only 2 directions you can have it facing in. And now over here, these are going to be going into chests. So you can actually store the items that actually come out, and to do that you're going to alternate between trapped and regular chests. And you can place these all on by shift clicking if you don't already know that. So now for the rest of the item sorter, you're going to put blocks all along here, and then you're just going to build comparators out of all of these. Then these are going to go into blocks, and then it's going to go down a block after this. But before you put these down a block in, you're going to want to put the repeaters in that go down here, otherwise it's quite hard to access them. So if you put in your repeaters down here, leave them as they are, put in blocks like this, and these repeaters are going to go into blocks with redstone torches on the other side. So here. And then you can just fill this up with redstone. Now all these things are going to be the same for the these 4 rows are going to be the same for the rest of the way up. So I'm just going to do 1 line, and then you can just repeat it. So what you're going to do is put a redstone repeater on 2 ticks. This is going to be going into a block with a drop on the end with a hopper facing back into it. Now this part here is very important for wind detection. Basically in this dropper and every single dropper that you're going to be placing, you're going to want to have 3 items in, and one's going to have to be fully stackable, so stackable up to 64. One item that is completely non-stackable, so as in a sword or a bow, things that you can only get 1 of. And then 1 item that can be stacked to 16, so eggs, ender pearls, or signs, things like that. And basically, this combination of things means that the signal strength will only be at 4 if all of these things are in the hopper. So, as I explained in the first video, if you get 3 items, it will into one item sorter. So all the items of one thing will come down here. Give 3 pulses into this, and this will go into the hopper, which will then send the pulse 4, showing that you've won. Now out of here you're going to take a hopper, so this will tell you if the so this will take the number of items that are in here and give the redstone strength according. So this is going to go into a block, and then this is going to staircase up like this. So you've got 1, 2, 3, and then the last one's going to be on the same level, so like this. And now only if all the items from in here are in this hopper, then the signal strength will be long enough. Now from here you can actually take a repeater and place it forward. Now from this point you're going to get your piston, and you're going to put it up here, so if you've won it will give a single pulse. And then you can just take the repeater all the way to the end, and these will go into dispensers, which will give you your prize. So now what you want to do is repeat exactly like you've done here, all the way along to the 4 that you've got here. Now once you've done that, so you've repeated it a number of times, you're going to put these all on 2 ticks, and this will basically stop it from a little glitch that used to happen where the dispenser would shoot out 2 items, and this actually stops it just by putting it on 2 ticks. Now before I move on, I'd just like to say this is actually doing it for 4 items, as in each dispenser will have 4 items in, so there's 4 different combinations of things. So for example, you'd need to match up 4 different things, and so if I had like these 4 things coming out, you'd need to have all 4 diamonds, all 3 of these things would have to shoot out diamonds for you to win. But if you only want to do 3, you can actually just chop off one of these. If you want to do 5, so it's even harder to win, you can add them on, because it's actually fully tileable, so feel free to customize it how you choose. Now one thing I like to do at this point is actually have the first item, the first row even, going into this piece of redstone up here, and that basically means it effectively is used as a spin again. So if I just put a redstone repeater here, and then push this up, going up here, and then into this up here, this will now act as a spin again, because if this gets a pulse, then it will actually go over here, setting off the dispensers, and start the whole process off again. So I think that's a cool little addition. You don't have to do that, you can just have this going to a regular prize, but I think this is just a really cool way of doing it. Now with the other ones, you're just going to put a block here, and this is just to save a few resources. Repeaters going up here. These are going to be going into blocks, and then you're going to put droppers here, and this is because the wall will actually be here. So if you fill these up with solid blocks and surround it by solid blocks, then it'll actually just shoot the prize up into a little zone here. So it's just a nice way of doing it. So now before I move on, I'm just going to use the show you what to do with these hoppers and the sorting system. So basically you can have the 4 items that you'll be playing with, so that are effectively going to be the real, and like I did in the video, I'm just going to use redstone, golden carrots, melons, and diamonds. And these can all be lead to different prizes. So what I'm going to do is use the redstone as spin again, and then the other one's going to various other prizes. And you can change this depending on how you want the odds. So if you wanted, as I said in the main video, to have it more swayed towards redstone, as that is a lesser prize because it's just spin again, then you can just put 2 stacks in, and then there's a 2 in 5 chance of this giving out a redstone, whereas there's only a 1 in 5 chance of it giving out any of the golden carrot, melon, or diamond. So now the items that you've put in there, they're going to actually match into the item sorting system. So we want the first slot to be redstone, because this is going to be the smallest prize, as this only gives a spin again. So you're going to put 1 item of redstone in there, or you can just fill it up with all of them. And like I did before, you're going to use 22 of any random item. It shouldn't actually matter here because people can't access this, so you can really just put any item in, and without worrying about people stealing or anything. And you're going to put in 21 and just spread them over this gap. And then you're going to do this for each one with each of the different items. So gold carrot's going to be the second best prize, then you're going to want to get 21 again and do the same, and then so forth. Now this is pretty much the whole thing. There's just a couple of things we need to add. We need to add a system that holds the items in here. So what you're going to do is you're going to put a redstone track along here, get a block here, redstone here, and then you're going to come along here to the far end of this, get a redstone torch, and this is going to be going into a very simple comparator clock. So you're going to put in 6 blocks like this, wait like this, then you put a piece of redstone here, block off this signal so these aren't connecting, then you're going to go with a comparator like this, redstone, redstone, block off the signal again, and then redstone here as well. So now when this turns on, once you've set a play, then this will just hold on for a couple of seconds while it actually empties out the hoppers from the last go, so that the go doesn't actually carry forward. So you're going to put a block here, redstone repeater on top of that. This is going to be going into a block with a torch on the side of it, and then this is just going to go down into this over here, and then we're sorted. Now we're very, very close to finishing the whole thing. There's just one little final little touch that I like to add on, and this is basically an auto payment system, if you like, so you don't actually have to keep on putting the item in each time. So you can just put a bunch of items in like I've done over here, so these will just stick around in here, and then every time you play, one will go, one less will be taken out. So to make it that it only takes 1 item each time, rather than you actually having to physically open up the GUI. You're going to put a piece of glowstone there, move 3 along, and then put your button down. Then you're going to go down here, 2 blocks here, then you're going to build like this, redstone, redstone, redstone here, repeater here, set it to 3 ticks, block, block, redstone torch here, redstone torch here, redstone dust, then a torch, and this is going to go down and simply go into a block over here. So redstone here, and then you're going to want to block off the signal just so it doesn't go down. And this is going to be going into a block over here with a redstone torch here. So this way it doesn't carry power to anything else. So now if we just fill in the floor and just put the item in here, so the item is a chip, you can put them all in here and it will only take 1 out if you do that. See, it's now taken 1 less out. Now obviously you just pretty this up as much as you like, so just obviously fill in the back walls because you don't want them showing, and obviously the floor as well because you don't want that showing either. You might want to double check everything beforehand because like I had a hopper facing the wrong direction, you might have noticed, and that was causing a couple of problems, but that has been sorted now. So now if we test it, you can see all the items come out, they'll get tested, and if we come down here, the 3 items will be quickly detected if they're correct down here, and you can see the 3 different items have come out. And I'm just going to rig it now so we automatically win, just to show you that the winning works. If I do it with redstone, then it'll obviously just do a spin again, that's what I've set it to, so if I just show you that now, and press the button, you'll see that once it's detected that we've actually won, it'll actually just send a pulse up here and give us another go at it. And this will obviously, because I've got it to redstone, it'll just do a continuous loop, because obviously we're going to win every time. Now, as I said earlier, if you just fill this up with blocks in front of it and a couple below it just in case, then if a item gets shot out of these because you win, then it will just shoot up onto the floor. So it's just a nice little way of receiving your prize, but you can do it another way if you want. You can do it like putting it into a chest or something to that effect. Now I know this is a very long tutorial, I apologise, but there was probably little way I could have made it shorter without skipping a lot of things and just sort of gliding over a lot of important details. But either way, this is the whole thing. You're going to want to have your wall here just to show you, because obviously otherwise there'd be redstone showing. And you can pretty it up as much as you like. And as I said, watch my first video, and that will actually show you how you can customize a lot of other things. So for example, this one will take custom currency, so you can name it whatever you like. And you can also have obviously the prizes to be customized, and you can have different numbers of these coming out, various odds. It's very customizable, and I strongly suggest you go watch the other video. Now that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best of luck with building this. I'll be sure to help you troubleshoot any problems. But please don't comment just saying it doesn't work, because it definitely does, if you build it correctly. So that is all, and I will see you later.